What? I thought that
What
was
she
over.
got? Oh, we are live.
Hello, everyone. We are live. It's your girls, Dr. Joy, pre-PhD, Callie, and me, Montique. And we are here to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 13, episode 3, Boys Will Be Boys. We are a little early because we was on time. Normally we schedule it out because we be late, but we on time today. So, how are y'all doing today, ladies?
Great. No
Great,
complaints.
Callie. I like the hat.
Thank you. It's 20 degrees here. What's the weather down there, Joy?
It's so hot.
It's cold today. It was probably it wasn't quite 50. It was like 46, 47
It was 60 yesterday. Today is 20.
Yes. Yesterday it was
80,
so hot.
It's 82 here. It's so
Is
hot.
it really?
It was
I'm
like
burning up.
Mm-hmm. I talked to my friend yesterday in Birmingham. He was like, he asked me what the weather was like. I was like, it's real nice today. That was yesterday. He was like, it's 82 degrees there.
It's so hot, y'all.
I'm ready. Your feet done. I would be in flip
flops. My feet are done. Well, they done from when I went to Florida, but they probably need to be done again. But yes. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Tori. I don't know who Kevin is. Welcome, Kevin, to the channel.
Hi, Kevin.
We're going to talk about New Jersey. Joy is the New Jerseyest of them all. Callie and I just are here. We accessories. We the earrings, okay? She the whole outfit. All right.
So we can start by segments, honey, because I did notes this time.
I got notes too.
Shoot,
that's what Joy Kevin said. He likes your reports, so he knows you know Jersey. Okay.
I really like Jersey. It's something. I like Beverly Hills too, but I really like Jersey. There's so much weight on Black women to perform a certain kind of way. What I like about Jersey is that ain't the issue. It's just fun to watch and not have a racial element.
I like that too. No
the
colorism.
Housewives. So
everybody just get treated bad.
Antoinette, are you out there? Where's Antoinette?
Oh, is she on? I can tag people. Oh, let's rate the episode. I'll tag people. And then we'll get into it. Oh, everything we say is allegedly our opinion, entertainment purposes only. Do not try to sue us. We report the news, okay? We repeat it.
We repeat it, not repeat.
We don't report
nothing new.
There we go. All right.
The rules we hear in Facebook groups.
Right. The groups. I'm about to tag her.
So
Nene looks pretty.
That's Nene.
Black, but Dolores is black. So Black Dolores is on the cast, Kevin. Okay.
She got Wendy's wet and wavy hair in today.
But okay, so Joy, since this is your baby, how would you rate it?
This was a really good episode. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay. Callie Cal?
2.5.
Well,
Lord. She does not like jerk. Go ahead.
I would give it a 5. It does nothing for me. It does nothing for me. I feel like it's the same family dynamic. They're fighting the same family fight
over and over and
over and over and over.
I don't even know what else Joe does with his life because all he does is talk about Teresa.
And all Louis do is turn red. Like it's like the same.
Right.
I'm starting to like Louis. All I had to say is, what's Louis' last name? Anybody know?
Louis.
Louis.
Because she's still going by Judice, by the way.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. When Andy introduced her on Watch What's Happened Live, he introduced her as Teresa Judice.
Oh.
And I was expecting her to correct or put a dash. So I don't know what his last name is, but all I have to say is that whoever his last name is outsmarted Joe.
His name is Rules. Rules. Ruels.
Okay.
That Louis outsmarted Joe this episode, and Teresa outsmarted Melissa. And I have to tell y'all why.
Okay, tell us.
Did you rate it? You gave it a 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first segment, if you all remember, was a continuation from last week where Teresa and Melissa kind of were getting into it about, it started with her engagement party. Right. But what was interesting is at some point, Melissa said something to the effect of, I want to see your happy ending. I've seen all the other phases. I want to see your happy ending, which was actually a really nice statement. Teresa heard that. That was a buzz for her. And she was like, you know what? If you really want to be in my wedding, if you would really love to be in my wedding, that's actually what she said. I would like to have you. And then and Melissa said, you act like you're doing me a favor. So
she said that.
And then she was like, no. And then she reworded it. She said, no, I would really like for you to be in the wedding. No, I'm serious. I would really like you to be in the wedding. And she said something that Teresa
oh my God,
hear forever. She said,
I really don't want to be in it.
She was like, I'm okay with not being there. And I really mean it. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Although she did make a smart comment and say it's like having a boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend, you don't want to go backwards. But she did say, no, seriously, I'm okay with it. Girl, Teresa was so happy. She all but skipped. She
was so
smiling and happy with her. I'm so happy.
Yes.
Madonna Mia. She was talking in
Mama Mia, Madonna.
She was smiling. She gave her a hug. When's the last time you saw them hug, honey? They were hugging up.
Teresa got Melissa to say that on camera. That's what she wanted. Melissa gave it to her. And it kind of makes Melissa look stupid because she keeps on entertaining the whole thing about family. So when she's talking to her mother and her sister later, I can't in the segment, I numbered them like 10. And it was her mother and her sister and Joe. She says to her sister, when her sister says something and they're saying things like it doesn't look good, that the optics don't look good. If she really felt like she didn't want to be in it, Melissa's conversation should be, you have people in your wedding that you want. I don't have an issue with not being in her wedding, but she never says that. She keeps this is what makes Melissa a bad sister-in-law, in my opinion, because if I don't want to, I wouldn't, she continues to allow these conversations to happen. When you care about somebody even a little bit, you don't take part in the gossip. You can gossip all day long.
Please, not on the Housewives.
What I mean by that is, if me and you are really good close friends, Montanique, all three of us are really good friends, you couldn't come to me and talk bad about Callie. And or other people, and I'm going to entertain it. I would walk away. I would say things like, I don't want to hear that. Don't do that around me. It's disrespectful to me because it puts me in a bad position.
Yeah,
that's all that I'm saying.
For Joy. I'm about Huntsville, but we talking about a different show right now. So does Teresa never talk about Melissa?
I'm sure she does. In this particular segment, but Teresa normally is reactive to things.
Yeah.
And that's really the issue. Now, she hasn't always been that way, no. But this particular season, thus far, she's being reactive. Regardless if you bringing up the engagement party from 3-4 months ago, or you're sitting talking about my children on a podcast from 6 years ago. Teresa is reacting to things that they're currently doing.
And that's right.
That's the issue.
So, Melissa, but do you think, because I always like to play devil's advocate because I have no fandom in this show. But do you think that Joe and Melissa could just be hurt by not, which I wouldn't be, I'm just saying me, because I don't want to be in your wedding, but by not being even asked to be in the wedding? Maybe did you think she thought
Joe
she
was asked? Let's be clear. Joe was asked to be in the wedding.
Okay.
Joe was supposed to be Louis' one of his grooms.
Yeah,
that wasn't the issue. It was Melissa that's the issue. Now people keep talking about it's an Italian thing. They're really just saying traditionally.
Yeah.
The difference between most people though is they deal with their family. So when I got married, my husband it was a total of 5 of them. He only had one sister. And his sister was in my wedding. I didn't really know her that well because she was so much younger than me. but she absolutely was in my wedding. That was his sister. But her boyfriend or her husband wasn't going to be.
But you're not Italian, Joy.
Huh?
But you're not Italian.
This isn't really an Italian. They're saying Italian. This is really about traditions.
Yeah,
this
I know.
Is traditions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying, Melissa gets that confused. Like, why are you advocating for your sister and your mama to come to the wedding? That's weird to me.
Now,
and then when they heard about the sister-in-law or the mother-in-law, then he was upset that Melissa's people didn't get invited.
But are Louis' sister and brother and mother and
all them were invited.
His sister is in her wedding, but that's his sister.
But just like Melissa. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is not a small, intimate Juan and Robin wedding. This wedding has 200 people. Are you telling me amongst these 200 people that Melissa and Melissa's mom, at least, should not be invited?
I mean,
she wasn't.
How close they were. I don't know.
Wasn't. Now, she did say on there that she was close to Joe. Dad.
I have a sister-in-law that I have had for 24 years. She literally got married on our anniversary, on our first anniversary a year later. I don't know.
Teresa invited Ramona. She don't even talk to Ramona.
So if you on the show together.
But not even talk to Ramona. Invite her to the wedding. I can tell you that. But
she invited people that she probably talked to twice in her whole life. And I think that's the issue, is that it's not like she invited 10 people. She invited 200 people. She didn't have to talk to this lady mama. I mean, it's your wedding.
Of course she would have had to talk to her, actually. She could
try to talk to a lot of people when I got married. I ain't got time. I was too busy.
Well, but you didn't talk to your closest people?
I did, but if they're not close, she didn't have to talk to her. Is what I'm saying.
So this lady might have been considered close because she was really close to Teresa's dad. Right. So that could be why they would have.
He didn't want to talk to her, you think?
My thing is, even that makes more sense. Why is he fussing at Louis though? Like, do you know how easy it would have been to call Teresa and say, "Hey, babe, I don't know if you know, but you may have left off Teresa so and so. I'm hoping it's an error." I personally sat down it was a while ago and wrote down a list, but there were people that I forgot. It wasn't intentional. And you called him on the phone and you say, "Hey, so and so is off the wedding. Did you know you didn't invite so and so?" "No, I didn't know. I wasn't even thinking." You have you're combining lists from his side of the family, your mama. You can't necessarily remember that. Now, maybe it was an accident, maybe it was on purpose, but the way in which they did is to the point where I wouldn't want you at my wedding.
Now, I agree with that.
Talking about me,
right?
Like you Joe wants a moment, Joy. Like he's always
absolutely
wanted a moment.
He's almost unbearable. Girl, when we get to that part about him and Louis handled him so well.
He really did. He really
did. Joe, I don't even think got it. When he said, I almost fell out the table when Louis said, I'm so above you right now. He was like with a straight face. Like,
right.
Because that was
you're like a child. And when he started clowning, he was like, "Oh, here come the theatrics.
Here we go again." Yeah.
He called his bluff. See, Louis, when he kept saying, "Don't you go there," this is the reality. Louis has the wits to blow up Joe in a way that Joe ain't ready for. See, everybody else think it's funny because he gives those men some airtime. Because for whatever reason, Andy is obsessed with showing these men. I mean,
boys will be boys. So, Kevin, I want to ask Kevin this question, and then Joy, keep on. Something isn't fit in the puzzle. Are you talking about in the puzzle of Louis and Joe, or the puzzle in the mother not being invited? Because they're a little behind, so I'm trying to figure out.
I wouldn't invite her if her daughter wasn't going to be in it and Joe wasn't going to be in it. Why am I bringing your mom? Why am I going to invite your mom?
Yeah,
I think the reason. Go ahead, Callie.
I understand they were close to the dad and everything, but I wouldn't invite her either because it just would have been a little drama. Because when she look at them, she thinks of Melissa and Joe. Drama.
Yeah, I just hate because they're their only living relatives. And I think that's what's kind of like, I really wish they would just kind of try to mend. Now I know it's
Joe
both.
is her only living relative.
Yeah, that's her only
like,
living relative. And so I just want them to get along. You know what I mean? And is that just that kind of, but okay, so Joy, what did you think? Are we gonna keep going just off, or do you want to talk about Frank and his Easter suit? Because
girl,
I just can't.
He looked like a steroid Easter bunny.
He looked like an orange.
Right, I'm like,
this cast, the men on this cast are very into their feminine side. Metrosexual.
They are.
They
Even
really
Danielle, is that her name? The blonde, whatever her name. Her daddy just cried. That was
he
nothing.
did cry.
Off the drop of a hat, he just cried.
I cried
so they
with
are
him, and
very. They're very in tune with their emotions. I don't want to say it's feminine.
But you know what, though? That's actually kind of neat, because when you think about the reputation of Italians, and I don't know if he's the Italian, or because I know she said one of her parents was Italian, the other one was Jewish, and I'm not sure which one. But Italians kind of have a reputation of being tough guys, but they also at the same time kind of got a reputation of loving really hard.
Yeah.
So there's like almost like an unhealthy, healthy balance.
And she, the daughter she said that she told her parents when she got pregnant that if y'all want to be a part of the kid's life, y'all have to work it out, because they were divorced at the time.
Yeah, I said the same thing to my parents when I turned 18, and they was fighting over who was gonna have me after graduation. Girl, I'm like, what? I'm not having this time. I promise you this happened. I said, I'm going to Red Lobster. Who comes?
You went Karen went to KFC.
Okay, and both of them came. That was the first time that my parents were in a room ever and not fighting. And I was 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
So what do you all think about the new cast, the new girl? They didn't show the Jennifer, new dark-headed one last night, or whenever I watched it. I don't remember her, but I remember seeing the other one. I think
she's a friend of. I don't think she's a house.
What do you think about her, the Danielle? Do you like the new girls?
That's the dark hair new girl, the dark one.
No, she's blonde.
She's the blonde. Okay.
She's the one that, what's her name?
The brother-in-law.
Jackie and her don't get along. Yeah, and their story kind of parallel too. I want to talk about that with Melissa and Joe.
Yeah,
with the sister-in-law brother.
A lot. Yeah. So could they take over the show with that storyline? I mean, I wonder how in depth it really got with that, because that's Teresa and Joe's story. You know,
I think so too. But do you like her?
Both of it is kind of sad. And first of all, I kept thinking, these people really must be really into each other. This is like, regardless if you like your brother's wife or not, it ain't my business. I'm gonna call her a B when I get in the car. I still don't show up on Thanksgiving and eat her food.
It's just good.
Like a dog when I get in the car.
Right. Be like, that bitch. She know her sweet potatoes wasn't cooked.
Right. I'm talking like, no, when I get in the car, but I'm coming every Thanksgiving.
I'm the only child, so I don't know. I didn't really have to deal with this, but I just don't understand how this could happen.
I have to deal with
not my business, because this is like I have brothers and sisters, and they've had mates that I didn't particularly care about. It wasn't my business. It was like, as long as they weren't abusive to them. Yeah, or I didn't see it. It wasn't my business. Who you choose to be with is just not my business.
I agree with that, and I feel like if they're having issues, who was that said if you're having issues in your relationship, do not tell your family?
My mother told me this. It was the best advice she gave me. She told me, "Don't you ever tell me nothing about David that I'ma still be mad at once you forget."
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It was
she told me that, and I never forgot
that.
She has been clear at times when you be trying to call them and confide. Because when we had first got married, we was only married a year. I called myself leaving, and my mom
I can see that
looking at my suitcase, and she kept telling she. I don't think she ever knew the source of that argument for real.
Yeah, I wish somebody had told me that. Because I've heard some things about other relatives, and
you can't forget.
Yeah, you can, and I just,
it's hard.
Somebody should have told me that. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I because it is hard once you know. But then even with some of my friends, which we're getting off topic, because I went to one of my friends, he made him mad. We changed the locks, all that, and then like 2 days later, he was back. I'm not doing that no more. So it's just like, don't tell me if you're gonna go back, especially like Joy say, don't tell. What is it? Cover your man.
Yeah, you should cover him. I had one girlfriend. I had
Oh
promised
Lord, why did I
myself
bring that up,
I
Cal?
would never tell a woman to leave her husband. I just
wouldn't.
wouldn't. It's not my place. But I had a girlfriend who I was really close with. We used to literally talk every day, going to work every single solitary day. And one day she had told me something that was just so bad. And I remember like, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this. So I was like, you need to leave him. You need to lock your doors, change your locks. He should not be in your house. And it wasn't anything like sexual to her children or it wasn't anything like that. But he was tripping. That's all I could say. And it bothered me. And it said, and I apologized to her like a million times. Like I never wanted to be that girl because I really don't think it's my place.
So do you think Joe or Teresa has ever said leave your wife or leave? Because I don't think Joe liked the other Joe enough. But I don't think
why would he? You see what he did that made, because we're gonna talk about
yes,
Gia
I saw
in
that.
a minute.
Remember I said I thought Gia should have stayed out of it. Amber Alert. Hold on.
But he also shouldn't be talking about them on a podcast.
Yeah.
I think what Melissa did was flat out wrong. And if you all don't know, is Melissa and Joe, this was around Easter time, had did a podcast and basically said that her children didn't eat because what's his name?
They wouldn't have been able to eat, right?
Right. And right, they wouldn't be able to eat because they would only work when they film. And I knew that was bull crap. You know how I know? Y'all know how I absolutely knew that? If y'all are Jersey fans, everybody knows that they didn't have a season the whole time Teresa was in prison. What happened was,
what did they show on the show then?
They filmed like a little special.
Yeah.
They filmed like a little special. But from the time Teresa left, they filmed something like in between, kind of watching them and how Joe was navigating day to day. How Joe was navigating day to day. But and they only filmed it was a very short special. It was just them, by the way. It was just like the Gorgas and the Judices. It wasn't the whole cast because they didn't pick up a Housewives season until the day she got out of prison. I don't know if y'all know that.
Said so much. That said so much. Why did they do that?
She got out of prison.
Yeah. Why did they do that though? Why do you think? Because Teresa really
knew they didn't have a show. They knew they didn't have a show. I mean,
you don't think so?
They didn't film.
Oh no, I agree. But you know what? They're not holding off the show for Jen Shaw though.
I thought I heard was she terminated? She gonna be going.
Well, they can't hold it for 6 years, Cal.
Right. And Teresa was gone for a year. She left in January and came back.
Like you can wait a year, but you can't wait 6. Okay, you got to bring Mary back. Okay, because we can't.
Okay.
But they did do a little special to kind of show us what was going on with Joe. So that special didn't feed them for no whole year.
And that means Teresa should have money though, right? Like when shouldn't Teresa
have
money?
They had to give a lot of money to the courts and the attorney. I don't know how.
What about for her books and stuff? Is she still not selling like her cookbook?
Sure. My point is, they had some money. They probably wasn't living large, or they budgeting, because you got a budget of what you got, over a year. But they ate, and even if that was true, no relative would actually say you wouldn't have even eaten if it wasn't for me. And then it almost makes what Joe did even worse. When Joe went to Bahamas last week or a couple of weeks ago, he claims he was just so coincidentally walking into a restaurant, and Joe Giudice did too. He seen him, he hugs him, videos the interaction, and posts it on Instagram.
I don't think from what I've read though, he didn't video it. A fan videoed it and sent him a copy.
Girl,
so
up that close, not behind the chair, or sitting behind a restaurant. You know how we normally do stuff.
No. The person stopped and said, "Hey, JoJo, let me get a video of y'all or whatever, a picture of y'all," and that's how it was coming about. But he didn't have one for himself. He was doing it for the fan, and the fan sent the video to him or whatever, something like that. I don't think it matters.
I don't know. I really wish they would get along. So y'all not tired of this family feud? I mean, seriously.
Well, I think a lot of fans have been tired of this. It's not that we're tired. It's not that we're not tired, because it becomes old. At this point, it's just like, why are we still having the same conversations we've been having since 2010? It's been since that long.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, so okay, let's talk about Frank and Dolores and Paulie a little bit. I know Callie thinks Paulie's a little creep. So do you think that he's a little too, like, he's like, I'm the man.
Well,
I'm the man. Or do you think Dolores likes that? It seems like she likes it.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that either, because the whole ex-husband thing is weird, as close as they've been. I don't have a problem with that. He just seems, I don't know. He's off. All I'm saying is hopefully Dolores has done her background checks abroad as well as right here at home. Like, seriously, there's something is off. What does he do for a living?
I don't know. What do y'all think of Paulie? The people who are looking, I like him.
And
I don't really know yet. He's trying to insert himself as a man, and I will admit that Frank and Dolores' situation is very it's just not regular. And
when he said,
I can kind of understand if their kids were young too.
Yeah,
if they had like little bitty kids.
It creeps me out when he said, I got you now. I got this now. I got you. Like she needed to be God. And she says she likes that. But it's weird to me. This is going really quick, ain't it? You got me? Do you really got me? What does that mean? And
I don't know. It seems like he's trying to demean Frank, in my opinion.
Yeah, right.
When he said to Frank, he's like, she needed a real man in her life. You couldn't be that. You made her do everything and schedule everything, but now she got me. You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go, Kevin. Yeah, so we feel the same way, Kevin. I think my dog
he was definitely taking jabs at Frank.
Yeah, he was. He just is it the pink? You think he's pink tanning or what is going on?
I think Donald Trump and them all be in the same tan. They get a special spray tan of orange and brown and yellow.
And pink. No. And maybe it's their pink undertones coming through.
Yeah. I mean, I like Dolores though, but what does Dolores do for a living? Aside from New Jersey. Do y'all know?
Good plastic surgery.
I mean, because and clearly, with the ex-husband being no longer an attorney because of what him and Joe did, yet she seems to be chilling. I like that. I like her a lot.
She seems to be
and
fine.
She ain't playing with Jennifer, but I'm gonna let her slide.
That when I look at their wealth, I said that ain't bad for some people that are really second generation Americans.
Yeah.
Isn't there some they like their parents all were born in Italy? Because I know Teresa's parents were born in Italy. They immigrated here. They were born here, but their children weren't. I mean, the parents weren't. That's the reason why. That's the reason why. Well, Joe Giudice was. That's the reason why he
got deported.
Deported. He came here when he was like 2.
So we've always heard about Joe Gorga. Huh?
Why did he never become a citizen?
I have no idea.
Why does Joe Gorga, has he ever talked about the loss of his mom and dad's house? He ever talk about that? On the
no.
show?
And when somebody asked Melissa recently, she's so manipulative. This is why I don't trust her. She was like, we bought her parents a house. Yeah, after y'all lost.
After you let it go.
And they didn't buy that house. I heard it was a rental.
So from what I heard, it was Joe and Melissa's house, and they let the parents live in it, and then they decided to sell it. Now I don't know what story's true.
Oh, you're talking about from the first thing?
What is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the rumor. Some of this you can read in
Yeah.
book it's court documented. So it looks like around the late 2000, like 7, 8, something like around there before the show. Joe's, I'm gonna tell you the two versions I heard. I
Okay.
heard that Joe forged his father's name and took out some loans. Frank was the attorney, by the way. They overestimated some things. They claim he got some high-end loans and they foreclosed on
High
their
interest
parents'
like
house.
loans.
Yeah, and they were
Uh-huh.
that house was completely paid for and the parents lost the house. I also heard on a less egregious side, I heard that his father allowed him to do it, but he still lost the house.
But he still, because if he would have forced his signature, couldn't he have gone to jail for that?
Yes, if he pressed the issue, the parents would have to press the issue. But when you hear that, either way it go, when you go back to the very first episode that Melissa and Joe was in, if you go back to the episode, it's the christening, and you listen to the father, you do wonder, why is the father taking Teresa's side and Joe Judice's side? You do wonder about that when he says things like, you're pulling my parents away from me. That it's an undertone. You knew something was going on, but you didn't know what. So it could go back to what Joe said. Joe Judice said what he said. I'm just telling you the rumors. I'll tell you what Joe said. Joe said in an interview a couple of years ago that they were arguing about, was it last season or the season before last? Joe Judice said that Joe lost his family's house. He didn't go into how or if he stole it. He lost his family house, and that he and Teresa, he's so silly, that he and Teresa were paying their mortgage or paying a rent for them somewhere. So that's why when the mother died, if you remember, Teresa and them was over there packing, and they said allegedly that was a rental. Now it could have been, like you said, it's just semantics we talking about, that Joe and them bought it and they were paying them rent.
They were paying it, but it's still they lost with the house that the parents was living in.
And allegedly that's the house that Teresa and Joe and them had grew up in.
And Joe always makes it sound like Teresa is the reason that they weren't always close with their mom and dad. That Joe wasn't close with mom and dad. I'm thinking, well, it sounds like the fraudulent stuff is possibly why that you're not as close. But
it's definitely
never talks about that. He never talks about that. So I'm often wondering.
To Teresa's credit, neither has she. To
She's
Teresa's credit, no, never.
I don't think I've heard her say it.
She's never talked about that. I've been people. I personally even wonder, does she require the interviewers not to talk about that, because she's never even been asked.
So she probably does. Yeah.
Maybe the people don't want to go into the murky details because maybe Frank will get in trouble, Joe can get in trouble,
But my point is,
a lot of people that it'll hurt, not just. So
right.
I wouldn't bring a lot of that stuff out either.
But if you think about it, all the things they've hurled at her, she never threw that in their face. Not once. That's something.
It's good. I like Teresa. I mean, she's been shady over the years, but every time it goes with her and her brother, it never seems to be her fault to me. It's always their fault. But, maybe I'm biased.
I don't know. I just don't like the family fighting of it all. And I think I like Joe and Melissa's marriage. I feel like they have great children. I feel like they are doing some good things. So I know people don't like them, but I think they do show some type of dynamic on the show.
I don't have a problem with the dynamic. Joe definitely loves Melissa. Melissa appears to love Joe. I don't think that has ever been the issue. The issue is it's a constant attack. If y'all listen, I'm sure they talk about other things, but Bravo sees no value.
Yeah, I said I don't think they
because the only thing they show, or the only and Teresa, and Joe and Melissa give it to him. They talk about every time she's filmed thus far, when she has her private session, regardless if it was with her mother and her sister or just her husband, they're talking about Teresa.
They are. So I would really like to see them have a segment where Teresa and them don't come up.
Yeah,
that has been their story for all 13 seasons. It's ridiculous.
Melissa
and Joe say that they probably don't show it because I remember Mariah saying when she had some dinner, they made one statement about Quad. They did say one thing, and that's the only thing they showed throughout that whole dinner. And they had filmed a lot. So it could be that that's all Bravo is showing us.
I know that,
but they're feeding it to them. They should stop. Like if you know this is all they're going to show.
They made a statement about who?
Don't mention it. Don't mention their names anymore. Yeah. Then they won't. Then you won't give it to them.
Yeah.
So Latoria thinks Joe, which I think Joyce kind of said this wasn't true, or maybe didn't meet Joe. Said, "Thank you, Callie. Teresa is so perfect. She does nothing wrong, and it's everybody else's fault." That's what is that what y'all feel like?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't think. No, I don't. Look, I
know you don't.
I think that she definitely says wrong, but thus far, I'm 100% Team Teresa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like right now, based off what we're seeing and what some of the things that we know that happened at some point. And I also want to emphasize to you all that friend that they talked to before the show, also said that Melissa was having an affair. Teresa ain't said a word.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. But Teresa ain't said a word. I just want to be clear that Teresa has bombs that she holds.
She really,
They don't. They gonna put all Teresa business out there. That's the part that irritates me about them.
Okay, so let's stop talking about them for a little minute. Let's talk about Jackie and Melissa's in this too. But Jackie, Melissa, and Marge kind of sit around the table and kind of talk. I think Jackie looks amazing. She's eating finally. But do y'all think Jackie's a snob?
Oh,
yes.
I've never looked at her as a snob.
I've never. She used to talk down to Teresa, not like she was a Wendy. Not in a way. She was like Wendy to me. Teresa Mangles. What did they say, Sutton? What did Erica say Sutton did? No, she was clumsy with her words. That's what it was. Yes, that was the phrase. I was going to forget that. Yes, Teresa is extremely clumsy.
I don't pay Jackie that much mind though. I don't pay Jackie that much mind, so I don't really have an opinion of her. Her husband is fine. Lord have mercy.
He's not attractive to me.
Yo, please, have you looked at the chest, the shoulders, the arms? Look, that is definitely not a Marcel type legs and hips. So he's fine. He is.
No.
Who is fine? I missed him. Sorry, Jordan called me. Who's fine?
Mr. Jackie.
Her husband, Evan?
Yes.
Oh, yes, honey. He fine.
He is so
I thought you was talking about that man with that little beard with that little chin that you thought was cute at first.
That's what what's his name? Kevin said he cute from the face up. What did
That's like that.
No, Jackie's husband cute from the
the one who got the little beard.
New guy.
That you thought was cute who had the axe.
Yeah.
Girl,
New girl's husband.
No.
He's a little thick, but you know.
I don't care about the thickness. It's his little chin and that beard. His beard go right here. No.
Hater.
I like him.
Kevin said, I forgot, I can't find it. Kevin said he cute from the chin up.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
They showed pictures of him when he was young and current. He looked better younger than that. But don't we all? I mean, but I thought it was nice looking.
It seemed like his face don't match his body. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We don't body shaming anybody. Yeah. We don't do that. But it's just something wrong.
I agree, Kevin. She was very jealous of the new girl. I agree.
So you think?
Seemed like, I agree.
You think
because it wasn't nothing wrong with what she had on. She had on some white shorts that looked like they were like cut off shorts. She had on a white wife beater, and she had on a scarf as a belt. That's typical mom outfit. It was
Yes, it
nothing.
is.
It was nothing cute about it or nothing uncute about it. It was
Behavior,
nothing.
why he gotta be all the way ugly?
Rachel's husband is that the one we talking about with the little chin?
Yeah, that's the one that
He ain't
had on
ugly.
that
I think
flannel
he's okay.
shirt or something.
Yeah,
Callie, that was Callie's
yeah.
boo. She liked him. We know what Callie likes.
I mean, he's not a Jackie. He's not Jackie's husband.
He's not
fine, but I
Evan.
think it was okay.
Well, okay,
None of
so
them.
why do you think Jackie's jealous of her?
Because
I
she
don't see a
taking her
reason.
spot. She took her peach, her
Oh,
diamond, or her what they hold in Jersey.
Is Jackie only a
they
friend?
don't
this
really
season?
hold anything, do they?
Is she
I
just a
don't
friend this season or something?
Yeah, she's a friend.
Yeah, she's just a friend, but she's been shown a lot, and so
Yeah. So is
that
Jackie.
that
But
girl
she
that
hasn't even been in every episode because she wasn't invited
she
to the
wasn't invited
cheese
to
show.
Danielle's thing. I
Yeah,
didn't know
so
that
she
she didn't
asked,
invite her.
huh?
I didn't know. I didn't even realize she didn't invite her until I
She
watched it
said
again.
it. She said she didn't invite her
Yeah.
because Jackie looked her up and down. And she did. They went back to the film and
I
it showed
watched
it.
it.
She did.
Hater
And then she talked
nation.
about her outfit.
But I didn't really think she looked at her like, "Ugh, girl, you look." She just looked up and down.
Obviously, it made an impression on that girl because she saw it.
Is that your doggy?
But I definitely thought that
Jordan
Jackie,
just walked in and he is crying, y'all. Sorry.
and
I put it on mute.
she's a snob to me. She was
Yeah,
definitely a snob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Jackie. I miss Jackie.
I don't.
I don't either. What do you miss? What do you miss about her?
I like Jackie.
But why?
Oh,
What
I
is
forgot
it?
to say that
Yeah,
what's
go
her
ahead,
name
go ahead.
called Frank called what's her name boyfriend Mr. Potato Head. You know
Yeah,
I
okay,
can't
so I
I
got
can't
that.
get that out my I can't I
No.
ain't gonna ever get that
And
out.
Frank calls him Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
And he calls Frank Mr. Potato Head.
I don't know why, because he actually looked like Mr. Potato Head.
Right.
When he said that. I thought he was saying that Frank called him there. Okay.
He calls Frank Mr. Potato Head. Because I think he said because his mustache is there, then it's not. He loses weight, then he gains it. Like Mr. Potato Head is always changing, so that's why he calls. And I don't think the guy looks like Buzz Lightyear, but I could.
He doesn't.
Okay,
maybe because his shoulder's so broad.
Had plastic surgery. Bill, is that Jennifer's husband? Or are we talking about the other Jennifer?
Oh, Bill's
Jennifer
what is up with Bill? I like
it's
Bill.
two Jennifers, right? Kevin, which Jennifer? Bill?
I'm sure she's talking about Jennifer.
Got too much plastic surgery on his face.
What did y'all think about that interaction between the two?
I got notes. Let me find it.
Bill and Jennifer?
Yeah, when they had a segment.
Okay, I'm ready.
First of all, she was teaching her children responsibility, which was good.
Yeah, and he said that's too much money.
Okay, do you really believe that she was teaching her that this was not a made up scene? Because you know they got a maid.
I'm sure it was.
Oh, okay, I'm just making sure.
I'm sure all her children was cooperative. I ain't heard, man, I don't want to do that. I want to play my game. That would have been real.
I was like, this is made for TV and I'm here for it. But would you pay your children minimum wage to clean up?
But I do think I pay my daughter salary. I pay her a certain amount a week. So
really?
Yeah. And it's not cash app. It's not step, but it's something like that. It's a credit card thing that goes directly to her.
The green card?
The green card.
The green one.
With the $5 monthly thing.
Oh, it's not that one. Then it's step. I stopped that one. The one on $5, I stopped that one. I had
so
to
that's
go
normal. I didn't do this.
Take that off because it stopped. It was going on for a solid year.
Oh, Kelly, did you pay your daughter? Do you pay your daughter?
I don't really pay her, but she gets whatever the heck she picks up.
Mine too. That's probably what it is.
So yeah, I would like to start doing that, but it's like that. Are you going to stop spending my money and only spend what I give you?
My coins and spend your own out your wallet?
But I do make her spend her own money because she want to go to Family Dollar at least once a week to buy $25 worth of potato chips.
I would take Family Dollar.
I make her spend her own money.
Let's talk about
or Starbucks. It's something like that. Yeah.
The first one I want to talk about is Jennifer and Bill, and then I want to talk about Gia interaction with Louis, Teresa, and what's the other girl's name?
Gabriella.
Gabriella. Okay, so let's talk about Jennifer and the self-reflective thing.
Yeah.
Is that the one that we got to see born?
Yeah, I
Wasn't
think so.
Gabriella?
Was that
Okay.
Melania? Oh, was that Melania?
Oh, that was Melania.
I think
that
so.
was
Yeah.
Melania. Okay.
So is that her name, Melania? Whatever.
Yeah.
But okay, so what do you think? Is Jennifer self-reflective? Because I feel like Bill wanted to say something.
Bill doesn't think so. Is she to Bill, or is she? She seems awfully short with him sometimes.
That's what I said last
I
week.
think,
I think
she's doing that this year because I respect Jennifer. She's a very covering wife. Y'all know how I feel about them.
Oh God.
And every covering wife wants one thing from her guy, and that's to feel covered as well. And Bill just doesn't do it. I'm sure he loves her, but Jennifer just wants one time not to be able. It's just like, as a Black woman, people always want to say we strong and independent. And then you just want to be, I want to be weak and frail. I want my man to stand in front of me, and I don't want to have to be the defender. I want to be the defender.
Now, are you saying this for you, or you think that's how Jennifer?
I think that's how Jennifer feels.
But I feel like Jennifer wants a yes.
She wants to be validated by her husband. When she was talking and she was like, "Do you think you're reflective?" Absolutely.
Because if you think, why would you lie?
Because
we on TV.
Oh, okay. When the camera's on, you don't
tell you when they say cut, girl, you are the most less reflective person in the world. But why these cameras rolling? Absolutely.
So what do you mean?
Say whatever you want. I don't like it, but Eddie do it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But
I'd
Eddie
rather have Bill than Eddie. I'd rather have Bill tell the truth than see the lies. Bill is another Chris Bassett. What do you mean by that?
National TV.
What'd you say?
Somebody's misbehaving said Bill is another Chris Bassett, and I'm trying to figure out how. Okay. So that's what
I don't think so. Chris Bassett is
at
a whole
all.
girl.
But I'm trying to figure out why I'm asking her to let me know.
Not a whole girl. Come on now.
Chris
a girl is
the husband that won't cover.
A girl is the husband that won't cover the wife. You talking about cover?
Chris Bassett argues on Twitter all day with people. Maybe like if you don't go get a job.
Somebody at the end of a thread send him Indeed.com.
They say he brought me Housewife and Candace. Come on. Yeah, but that's not what I said. That's what the people say, Chris.
Here's an example of covering. Y'all might not believe this, but here's an example of how Chris can cover Candace. If a man, a sober mind, wouldn't have never walked in that hotel room with Giselle.
Why he got to not have a sober mind, Joy? Why he got to have a wine in his hand all the time?
Well, maybe you know what? Maybe a woman with stovepipe legs should have known better.
No, she ain't the one in a committed relationship.
She's the one that lied about it, and she might still be in a committed relationship.
Kevin is brown, not black. It's brown.
Girl, whatever.
Brown Kevin.
Brown penis.
Friendly with everybody when his wife is beefing. Who?
Oh.
Why did Juan go into the hotel?
Honey, Juan didn't have a
he was wrong. He was wrong. I mean, he was flat out wrong. Because here's the thing. Do I believe this story? Look, but even if he was 100% right, let's say that Juan is not lying, that he really just laid his credit card down. The optics of it is so embarrassing for his wife. She may literally lose her job because of it. When you are a covering husband, that's what I mean about being a covering husband. You are thinking about that. My husband he just walked behind me. I wouldn't have that issue with him.
Right. We're not having an issue in these
houses. Like you're talking.
One day we need your husband on the phone with us so we can hear just a little bit about how things work.
This wouldn't be an issue. Like there's no way I could be in a situation where I'm walking out of a hotel and he didn't know exactly what the situation was or he was with me. There are just certain things. If you are a person of refinement, And if you thinking hood, this ain't gonna work for you. If this what I say ain't gonna work for you. But there is a thug thought process, and there is an elite process.
Right, I'm ready to get back to Jersey too, misbehaving.
Yeah.
They be going into it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going back to Jersey. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. We on a rant.
Well, okay. So did we finish talking about Jennifer and self-reflecting and Bill? I just feel like she treats Bill bad, but that's just me.
I think she's short with him because she wants him to show up for her. Mm-hmm. But he is short with her. She's
very short with him.
She mad.
I like her though.
Is it because infidelity came out?
Yes.
Okay.
And you know,
but is minimum wage too much money?
No.
Not for them. They rich.
Not for them, right?
Not for that house they got.
Right. Okay.
He's so rich. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Let's talk about Gia, Louis, Teresa, Gabriella. Their conversation. What did you all think of that conversation? I feel like Louis was a little bit too, I don't want to say out of line, but I feel like he was feeding it. Did y'all not feel that way?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I think that I like Louis. He's going to take up for Teresa. Teresa needs that so bad because she's inarticulate. But I feel her heart, and she needs somebody that
God, she didn't want you to hear how wrong she was.
Look, because I love her. I love Teresa, but she ain't. Yeah, she's not a fighter like that, and that's not a bad thing for a person. You know, in your person. But it's just, it doesn't fare well for you on reality TV. Giselle is very similar.
Yeah, they don't fight.
They don't fight.
Giselle don't throw nothing on nobody either, though. Yeah. She just be like, whatever.
She throws lies on people.
Yeah, she gonna throw a table at you, though, honey.
She gonna throw lies on you.
Yeah, she might do that too, honey.
And a person like Louis, let's talk about that last scene, because that's where the meat of the episode was.
Yeah, let's talk about the boys' trip. That's where we're gonna go.
The boys' trip, where all the guys were talking, and how Joe, first of all, you got all the men, even the friends of, which was cool. Evan was there, and so was the new girl's husband. And while I wondered, did he get paid? Because she wasn't in that episode. Because you know they get paid per episode.
And we didn't talk about Gia. Let me talk about Gia real quick. I don't like what she looked like in a confessional. Okay, that's all I want to say.
She looked like her mom. It's too much makeup for a 22-year-old.
She looked like an old lady. Like she didn't look like a kid.
It was I didn't like. To me, young people look really good with natural looking makeup with just a hint of color, and it was just too much for her because she's only
that's why I want to talk about that scene. We didn't do it. We moved on. But go ahead. Talk about the boys' little thing.
So you got all the guys there, and Joe is first expressing himself. Going on talking about he started off talking about that his in-laws weren't there, and when finally Louis comes, you know, they shut up for a minute and of course, you know, Joe gonna give the people what they want, drama.
Absolutely,
because he is definitely more of a housewife than his wife.
He gonna
I do wonder, why is he so angry with Louis about this wedding list? You know, doggone well, he ain't probably seen that list.
He don't know.
He wanted to make sure his mama and his great aunt was on there, but that's probably not.
I bet he's seen and knew everybody at every table along with the table numbers. He's scary.
Louis, I don't know. Maybe it's because he's so red. Something about him makes me nervous.
Think he's the person that turns red. Because did y'all see Gabriella's face?
But she broke out in high.
Yes. And I was different kind of red. When they showed that, because I was like, wow, she really did. I had to rewind it. I thought maybe she came in there like that. She really didn't. Just that conversation made her emotionally, you can see. So I do wonder, is that what Louis' issue is?
But his when is like lobster
red or angry, he turns red. He
look like, what's his name, Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob. He turned like
dang. Not SpongeBob.
Look, Mr. Krab, that red, like fiery lobster red. I don't trust him. I hope he's good for Teresa. We're gonna pray about it. Because
I like him so far. He ain't did anything to hurt Teresa yet. Because even if you don't like what side he's taking, one side he's definitely taking is Teresa's.
Yes.
Even if he's taking up for the crazy, even if you see it as that, that's what I wanted for her. Like, I will say this, it's as hard as Jennifer, as bad as what not Jennifer, what's her name? Dolores said last season. She was right, but she was like, that girl is like a starving dog.
She is.
Got to eat, and she needed that.
And
She really did need somebody to have her back because Joe Judice didn't do that for her.
So, do you think that she fell for him because he's like that? Like any man could have been like that, and she would have been like, "I want to marry him."
Could be. I mean, if you have a love language and your friends even recognize it, which just tickles me when Dolores said that, and you got somebody that feeds that love language, absolutely.
Kevin says, I'm still waiting for the fight between him and Louis. Is this you're waiting for them to fight, or is it coming?
Do they physically fight?
Was that today? Going to happen, or is it something that has happened and we just waiting to see on the show?
I think it happened today.
So the big fight wasn't what we saw.
I thought it was, Joy. So I guess
so there's was this? I was trying to remember maybe I need to go back and look at the what do you call it? The trailer, because I do kind of remember like a charging situation, like Joe, like, come on, but I thought it was there. I didn't even think oh wow, now I gotta find it.
Kevin, is that what you mean before Joy go digging? Because Joy will dig it. She will not say another word until she finds this video. So I put the StreamYard up. Is there anything else before we let people in? He did never come in. I sent him the StreamYard, so he cannot say I did not send it to him. Let me see. What do you think about the little girls' art show? I
kept saying this. Oh God, this is Teresa all over again. She gonna make us sit through kids segments. It was cute in 2009. It ain't cute now.
But what's so crazy is the entire family came for her.
Granddaddy about flowers and everything.
And Daddy was crying and everything. It was a beautiful sight.
The daddy when he cried.
I'm not saying that it's not cute, but no.
Oh yeah, I know.
No. I don't want to see no more of that.
Joy, I thought it was cute, but I don't want to see it either.
It was. We saw it. Don't do that no more.
Oh my God. Hello, Tori.
Like we go to our own children's recitals.
Girl, when I say Joy, do we have anything else that you want to bring up before Tori and everybody starts fighting? Fighting.
Go ahead.
Tori and Joy finna fight.
Hi, Latoria.
You on mute, Latoria.
Hold on, y'all. Talk about something else. Hold on.
Okay. Let me see. Let me look at my notes because I don't know what happened. Do you think has Louis?
Let's talk about Candace.
Huh?
Let's talk about Candace.
I know I didn't found it right.
Oh, I'm back, y'all.
God.
Her husband's beard is strange. Oh, they said that. Okay, let's talk about the little luncheon they had. Do you think that Jennifer needs to heal? Because that was what Margaret said.
No, Jennifer needs to be Jennifer. Margaret needs to shut up. Margaret.
No, you don't agree?
I do agree that she's not healed from it, though.
Right. Okay.
She was healed from it until Jackie the devil threw it back up in her. Or who did it? Jackie or Marge?
Marge.
She was healed until it got thrown back up in her face by the devil.
Well, she deserved
Marjorie Satan.
Not she deserved it. Go ahead, Tori. Why she deserved
it? Latoria.
Well, she deserved it because she brought up things, you threw up things too. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I ain't even come to talk about that. I just came to talk about Jill since she's an adult now.
Oh, God.
We could not touch her. We could not say nothing about her or none of this. That little girl is a disrespectful, spoiled ass little brat that's ungrateful, unappreciative, and dumb as a bag of rocks like her mammy.
What?
Latoria! God,
What
that is not
Ooh, I've been
true.
waiting to say that forever.
I
So
know
what
it came right out the
happened?
gut, didn't it? No, she is of age. She's there with the adults. If they bring her into the conversation, which they did, she has a right to speak.
But what did she do to make you say this? Because we need some context.
She just thinks
Oh,
that
I'm talking about from the moment she was a child all the way up to an adult. She has always tried to put herself, insert
she
herself in
done
adult
added
grown
all
folk
22 years
conversations.
of the baby's
She has
life.
always
Child.
talked back to
Uh,
Teresa. Oh,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
let I
Stuff
mean,
that
let's
Teresa
be
allowed to
clear.
Let
fly.
LD, let
The
her.
She need to be
the
backhand slapped
kids
in
See,
the
actually
mouth.
got a
Knuckles,
little sense.
what you say,
She
Tori?
does.
I said the
She need to
kids
be
actually
backhand
got a little
slapped in the
sense,
mouth.
unlike the parents.
So, well, I think Gabriella may have the most sense out of all of them. I do feel like I don't know if I would go to the extreme of Toria, but I do feel like Gia should step away from some of
I
this.
mean, how are we gonna tell somebody to step away from something that was literally their life?
Because okay, so I've experienced things in my life, but I let the grown folks who are going through it handle it on their own. I don't need to be in this. My mom and can handle her dang on self. I don't need to have this type of
All
relationship
families
with
are
my
different.
uncle or my aunt because that's not what I want. Let
All
them
families
handle
are
it. Let them
different.
fight it out. But
Yeah,
that's not
all
that's what I
families
said.
are
That's
different because
my
some people are
opinion.
raised with respect and manners, and some
Yes,
people
I
don't
just
teach their
I
wouldn't
mean,
do
it's
it.
children
not really about like
nothing.
respect or disrespect. I mean, G is a grown woman at this point. It's not like she's
When
15
she was
doing
a
all of
child, she
this.
was disrespecting. Hell, she was disrespecting her own
Okay,
mama
but you can't
and
tell
her
a
Oh,
grown.
child.
okay. Who
You
is
can't.
that?
Let's not
Whoever
make up
said that?
excuses
Wait a
now
minute,
for
y'all.
her.
Joy, hold on, let them finish this out, Joy.
Well,
Okay, go
Joy,
Joy.
ahead.
I
go
mean,
ahead.
I don't really have anything else to say. At the end of the day, G is grown. She can say what she want to say. She was involved in this. It's not, she's grown. This was her life. So, I mean, she can say what she want to say. This heavily impacted her life. So we
I
can't
get
tell
that, but I just
somebody,
wish she would step away because people are
My
going to
bad,
now
y'all.
come for her. And I don't feel like she ain't even, I don't know how if she getting paid or not, but if she just steps away from it, then people won't be saying these things about her. I don't feel like she needs this. She needs to be
Oh,
living her life. Gia, I feel like she needs to be living her life and staying away from all this mess because she don't need that.
girl, Jen has a whole confessional. Let's
I
be
agree.
crystal clear.
I know that's why I said I
Girl,
wish she
look,
didn't.
she got a check.
So does
You
Giselle
got
literally,
a
kids.
Joy.
confessional, you
So
get a
does
check.
Giselle kids, but they ain't sitting here doing that shit. And people talk about their
But
mama
they,
all
her
the time.
children aren't getting
Okay,
paid though.
right. And they also don't
Gia
have
ain't getting.
social media. They
And
have
it,
One of them does. One of
they
them does.
they just got it though when they
Yeah,
turn
and
of
they not
age.
gonna get in it though. They've already said we don't want this for our
And I
kids.
never seen
You shouldn't
Giselle
want this for
kids
your kids.
disrespect her, talk back to her, or even jump in adult conversations as a child. I have never seen Giselle kids do none of that like Jill
Oh
has done.
no. No,
Like I
all
said,
of them have good kids. Look, Teresa raised Gia, in my opinion, in a way that, like, what we was watching today, I said I want to see again. Teresa did the same thing to Gia. You could tell that was, you love all of your children the same, but you could tell that she was extremely
Yeah.
close to that child. And add in the fact that Teresa went away to prison. She's always going to be in making up mommy mode because she carries guilt with her. That kind of stuff, in my opinion, I think weighs heavy on her. So I just see Gia in a way, she treated her almost like a friend. And
I
so
agree because
now
I
that
remember
she's
when Jill
now
was
an
a
adult,
child,
yeah,
Teresa used
and
to
now
talk
that
to her
she's an
about adult
adult,
stuff.
yeah, and now she's right, and she's been exposed to a lot. Well, everybody thought it was so sweet and so kind that Gia sung that song about her brother asking him not to fight anymore, but they think she's too young now to be able to say, Uncle, stop hurting my family. I felt her. I don't think it was so much an issue between him and his mom. Her thing is, stop talking about my father. That's my father. You ain't gotta like him. He ain't your brother-in-law no more. She ain't even my mama husband no more. Leave my daddy alone.
I get
But
that.
yeah, but when he made up with the daddy and tried to be nice, here they come. Oh, that's fake. Or da da da. So
Well,
which one is it?
it,
Do you
it
want your uncle to get along with your father and be nice, or do you want your uncle to continue to talk junk? You can't have
I
it both
want
ways.
them to get along, but I don't want to feel like you're exploiting the
Thank
situation.
you. I was just going to say that. I think she
That and
wants
Joe
wants it to be
Giudice kind of
real.
exploit things. This is a family
He
that
was literally
came
just
on
talking about
TV
him last
to
year.
exploit his own
But I thought we
sister.
weren't
That's
going back
all.
in the past. When I
Had
tried,
that
I
been,
couldn't.
I don't think had it had been a private moment.
I couldn't.
If it had been a private moment and he decided to talk about it months later, I don't even think it would be an issue. That would feel genuine. It don't feel genuine when it ends up on Instagram, regardless if he took that picture or he allowed a fan to. That fan had to be really close because they were in mere inches. The phone was so close. At some point, you could only see their bodies hugging.
But they were in a restaurant, so it's okay if they were that
Put
close.
it in a close restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is this wasn't
Put them
somebody
in
sitting across the
paparazzi.
table. This was somebody, they're in their face. They're mere inches from their face.
That was somebody that was close to them.
That's
It was
all I'm
somebody that
saying.
was
This
with them. Yeah.
wasn't some random fan walking
But you don't
by
know
and
that.
said,
I
What do you
don't
mean?
know that. Yes, it could be.
you think
They
they would
do
be
it on
that
Vanderpump
close?
Rules
Did
all the
y'all
time.
see that
Yes.
video?
Yes,
I
They
mean,
at a
she
At
said,
the end of
Real
the
close.
day, it doesn't
Yes.
matter if they was in the
They
face
get
or
real
not. The
close.
whole point is, I look at it that the man was trying to do something positive and show his niece them and say,
that
"Hey,
wasn't
I
nothing
heard you.
positive.
you
I'm
know, if he
listening to
wanted to
you,
be
and I'm
positive,
You
trying to
child,
don't
he
fix
would
you
have
this
did
just
that
make
don't
this
years
exploit
situation
that
ago.
better."
situation.
He
He would
couldn't
have
do
did
it
that
years
years
ago.
ago. He would have did that if it was positive. He would have did that with Joe Judice years ago. He was
How
just
do y'all
talking
know
They
trash
he's
wasn't
about the man.
positive?
complaining
He
years
was
ago.
just
They was
talking about. He
complaining
So
was
no
just
now.
matter
talking
what
about.
he
Like I
He
does,
was
said,
just
y'all
talking
gonna
about
have
the
an
man
issue
last year. He
because
was
it ain't
just.
on y'all timeline. Is that what you're
He
saying? So if
wait
this
said
man really woke up
basically.
and said, "I want to make amends with my brother-in-law,"
he was just
and
talking
because it's
about
not
the.
on your timeline, it can't be sincere.
Wait, yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying that. This has been
That's what D's
very.
saying.
I think it must
I'm
that
just
it was.
saying, if he really wanted to make amends, he would have been did it. So
No, that's not true. You make amends when you're ready. So maybe he wants to
now
now.
all of a sudden he ready to make
Yes, it could
amends, and
happen.
he was just talking about the damn man
It could
last
happen.
season.
We see them do it every year on the Housewives. They be
And
friends. They don't be
and
friends.
last
They be
season,
friends. They
the
don't be
children
friends.
just not said something to him about him saying something about their daddy too. So guess what? He made amends. He let them know that I heard you. I'm hearing you. I'm going to be positive. I want to put the family together. So let me start off with liking your daddy.
Okay, we'll see. So
Yeah,
that's
let's
just
just
that.
see. Y'all just so Teresa loving. Y'all don't get
I
nobody else.
mean, we just putting.
That.
I mean, we just like keeping it real. They do this all the time. Just like if Joe and Teresa wanted to really
This is
make
the real
up.
issue. I don't trust the Gorgas. The Gorgas to me are
Thank you.
underhanded, sneaky people. They have literally been exploiting their own in-law for 10 seasons at this point. It's to me, I'm like, I ain't trying to act like you get along with everybody, but I just can't imagine having a mindset that I dislike you so much that I'm a go on a show with the premise of to destroy somebody. Like I just can't
I didn't say
imagine.
you did that with Nene. She went on there. She went to
She
bring Nene
did.
all the
I,
way
I
down.
agree
And
with.
y'all
I thought
love
that was
Phaedra
wrong.
now. So
I
I
agree.
feel like
Yeah.
it's who y'all like and who
Don't be
y'all
talking about
Well,
Faye
she
Faye.
didn't come
That's
on
what
the
I'm saying,
show.
Callie.
Don't be
She
talking
Callie.
didn't
about
come
Faye
on.
Faye.
She
Let
didn't
Miss
Faye
come
Faye, I
on
Phaedra
the
got your
do it.
show
back.
to ruin Nene. She was bringing her sister on the show, and
Right,
that
but she
was
was still gonna
exploited.
do it.
Well, let's
Yes,
clarify. It
she was
wasn't
going to
Faye
hurt
Faye.
her, but that's not why she
That's the
came
same.
on. That's
That's
not
the
why
same
she got
thing.
on the show.
And y'all
She
still love
wasn't.
her?
No,
Wait, who
she's talking
Phaedra.
about
Go ahead, Miss
Phaedra.
Phaedra.
lies? I do
Phaedra.
not like Phaedra,
No,
honey.
Joy
So
does though. Go ahead, Miss
That's my
Phaedra.
girl.
Mine too.
This
I
is what
like
I want to.
Phaedra. And what she
Okay,
did
Miss
to
Phaedra.
Nene was wrong.
Okay.
Because even Nene had
Joy.
to explain.
It's
Go ahead.
okay. Go,
Okay.
Miss Behavior.
Hello,
You can't
everybody.
win when you're playing dirty.
That's
Hi,
That
true.
was show what that
misbehaving.
was about too.
Hey, Miss Behaving.
Hi. So I don't think there's anything wrong with what Gia did. She's defending her mother. Her and her sisters have witnessed how fake Melissa and Joe are, how bad they've talked about their father and mother. I know my kids now. I've raised them to be respectful of adults, but I know that there are family members. My I have 20 something year old and 30-year old.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are family members and people that they don't like, at all because they know they've mistreated me or used me in some sort of way.
Absolutely.
Let
Yes.
me tell you this, the only reason they want to be in Teresa's life is for a paycheck. Not once has
I believe
any
it.
of their life that has affected them has on the outside of the cameras has ever been brought to New Jersey. Teresa is an ineffective communicator. She stumbles over
Yeah.
her
Amen.
words
Mm-hmm.
and she gets
Yeah.
easily flustered. She doesn't know
Yeah.
what to say
Yeah.
because she was raised to be quiet. You listen to the man, even if it's her
She
brother, sister.
was.
She doesn't want to speak up. So her children, her daughters are her covering, and they're speaking up because they
I agree.
witnessed it.
There it is. That's a
I
very
don't like
yes.
it. I
I
don't
agree.
think your children
I
should do
get why
that.
you
That's
don't.
that's me. I don't think your children
I
should do
get
that.
why you don't. But
Yeah.
I agree. 100% misbehaving.
Yeah.
Yes. Go on, girl. I'm sorry.
Lord, it's about to be an earthquake. Me and Joy agreeing again.
I'm
Right.
Lord,
nervous.
have mercy.
Right.
I'm
I
nervous.
agree too. I agree as well.
Okay. Now, if Gia was like under the age of 18 or something and trying to
Yeah.
argue, I wouldn't
Yeah.
like that. I would look on that like, hey, that ain't cool. But she's
Mm-hmm.
older now. Teresa's not speaking up, and I'm glad Louis there. He does make me nervous because his eyes are kind of crazy. Reminds me of Ramona Singer. He looks like
Amen.
he's ready to
Right,
pop up.
Lois.
God,
I
yes.
Louis look
know.
like he ready. Look, but
Missy Avon, did you say that your daughter does not speak to people that have said something about you in the family in a bad way?
Or
yeah,
they do.
she does not. My girls are overprotective of me. They think I give people too many chances,
Uh-huh.
and and they just don't care for them. They avoid them. They don't like them.
Yeah.
Now that
Yeah.
my oldest, she's like 30 something, and I told her to be respectful of my aunt. Don't curse at my aunt or yell at her. And she said, Mama, she
Oh
said, I
my God.
don't like her. She said she mean and she nasty when you not around. She be getting slick. And I said, oh, Lord, have mercy. So I look at my girls because I'm like, oh my God. She said, Mama, I know how you raised us to respect our elders. She said, but I'm grown now and she's not being respectful. And I said, okay, but I need you to apologize. She said, well, I'll apologize to you, Mama, for cussing out your auntie. She said, but I don't like her.
Girl,
See,
that's
I
how
don't
my
think
look. I'm not like that, but that's how my sister's kids are. Girl, they surrounded that all them. You don't talk to me or my daughter. You don't talk to none of us like ever, and that really hurts me because I kind of miss
Yeah.
my nieces every time. But my
Mhm.
sister is like that. I'm not like that. Me and my sister wasn't talking. I encourage my daughter to have a relationship with her. That's her aunt. Like I was saying,
Okay.
yeah, I
Can
would
I
Okay.
tell
just
encourage it.
can I just
so.
say
Let
Do you?
me
this
But
real
you do
quick?
agree with what G is saying? Is that what you're saying, Misbehaving?
Yes, but can I just say this?
Mhm.
Even if we were to believe the lie that a fan, took the video and sent it to Joe,
She said
he
lie.
didn't have to post it.
That's
He
true.
didn't have to post it.
Come
It would
on,
be
it's
different.
it's Joe and Joe. Of course they were gonna post it.
No, Joe Gorga was gonna post it. Joe Vici didn't post it. Joe is worse than Peter on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh
Oh, he
yes,
is.
yes,
Peter?
yes.
He
We
is
don't.
I'm not.
work,
He's
girl.
worse.
He's Peter on steroids.
Y'all don't be talking
Okay.
about Peter.
No, I'm not talking about Peter, but
I'm just
Peter
playing. You can
Telling
talk
the
Peter
about
truth,
it.
is
I'm playing.
and then
I don't
another
care about
Peter
thing,
him.
is worse.
I
Joe
don't care about.
Gorga contradicts himself so much. That's another thing that's so funny. He literally was yelling at Louis, "You do something about it. It's your wife, and this, and that." And soon Louis was like, "Okay, well, let's have a conversation." No, like, come on, what?
He
Like, come
did.
on,
He
like,
said, "Why don't you have a
Hey,
literally.
hey,
conversation with your?" He didn't say no. He said, "I'll think about it,"
But
he wasn't gonna do it, but hey,
because
Joe,
they
hey,
are going to
listen,
talk about it next week. They're going to be on the phone, D.
And then
listen.
another thing that tickled me about this week's episode is Jackie. How dare she get on there and talk about somebody dressing as if she don't shop off the clearance rack from Macy's and Old Navy
Not Old
and
Navy.
Claire's.
Not Old
I always
Navy.
started back at Old Navy first.
I don't shop
I
at
go
Old
back
Navy.
there first, and then I move up.
Like
What's
goodness,
wrong
that
with the
tickled the
clearance rack?
hell out of me because it's like the audacity, like she wearing haute couture or something. Like she just
Well,
be
none of them dress too great on Jersey,
and she
right?
going and she go right to Claire, just like Jackie. Stop.
Do you think any of them dress good though?
No, if I did, and then honorable mentions, the only ones that would even come close to fashion is Dolores and Jennifer.
Yeah, they would. I agree. Teresa, I
No,
think when she,
I never did see these girls as fashionistas.
yeah,
Anyway, I think all of them were rather thin and they wore clothes that were for the most part complimentary. Every once in a while they were some questionable. I think that's the only series I've been saying is that I think is fashionable is Beverly Hills and Atlanta. I've
yeah, they're
never
the only
thought
ones.
any of the other branches were fashionable. Now, that don't mean that they wear terrible clothes. They just wear stuff, in my opinion, that I pretty much see every day.
Yeah.
So, Joy, you was gonna share something. Was it the video that you watched?
Oh, it is a big fight coming between Louis and Joe, like they're running toward each other, but it's a scene where they're outside, looks like a backyard of some sort. So it is a scene. I forgot about that. I was trying to see who fought. I know that Jennifer and Joe get into it real bad, but I didn't remember Louis and Joe fighting. But yeah, I don't know if they. It looked like somebody was running towards something, and Joe wants. See, the sad part is Joe wants that. He knows that's good TV for him. I don't believe that Louis really wants to be seen that way. And Louis do seem like a passionate person. I tend to think that passionate men, they're either abusers or
Great lovers.
are yes. I didn't want.
Okay.
I was trying to think of
Yes, honey.
a PC way to say that, but yes, and he seems very passionate, but so does Joe.
I think
Joe's
Louis
very
is very overwhelmed by all of this as well. I think that's like a lot of that too. Like he didn't know that he was getting himself into all of that. Like Louis didn't strike me as a person that just set up and watched the Real Housewives of New
Oh, he
Jersey.
did. He said he
He
used to watch.
did?
He used to watch. He used to watch. I don't know if I read this somewhere. I read so much bull crap, but I do have a memory of reading somewhere or seeing it that he used to watch Housewives of New Jersey with his ex-wife, and Teresa was his favorite. And
Oh,
you
he
know,
did say
people
that. He
get.
did say that.
I don't know how true it is that their chance meeting. There's a conspiracy out there
I don't
that
agree.
their chance meeting wasn't so much by chance.
I don't
That
think it
Louis
is.
was trying to. He was attracted to Teresa.
I
That
got
all of this he really wanted. That he made, and you can always really want something and really not know what you're getting yourself into at the same
Exactly.
time.
And just because he wanted it didn't mean that
But
he wanted to get on
that's
there
the
with all
that's
this,
the
you know.
conspiracy. I don't know if any of this is based in any reality, but the conspiracy out there is that Louis saw her out, knew she went jogging, put himself in a position to get her attention, and that all of this has been a plan from the beginning. That he was obsessed with Teresa before he actually
But
met her.
listen, I see nothing wrong with that because if a man wants me,
I said
and
no.
if he wants to do all of this preparation to get me,
And I was
I'm
thinking,
fine.
I was like, if we want to keep it real, women, we do that all the time.
All the time.
You
I
can
know
be
how
a
you like
woman
my
of
hair. I
faith.
know like
You
what
could
color
be
you like.
you
Yeah.
could be a woman of faith who even go to church every day.
Yeah.
But when you want the attention of a man, you position yourself to be seen by him.
And just because he wanted her attention and maybe possibly wanted to be on TV don't mean he wanted to get on there and fight with no damn Joe
Now
Gorga and
we agree
Melissa
with
Right.
that.
Gorga,
Yeah,
honey.
we're not saying that. No.
We're not saying that. I'm
Yeah, I
just
know
saying
that. I was just
I was
saying.
just saying that's the conspiracy out there, and I kept thinking, and even if you wasn't on the other end of not being a Christian woman, not to say this is a slut, but it could be. If
Talking
you
about
knew a professional football player or basketball player was in your neighborhood and you had the opportunity to get his attention, and you felt like you was cute enough or whatever, you would position yourself.
I would try to find out
Right.
what his favorite color is. If he want
Right.
me to wear a mini skirt or some tight
Where
jeans.
he gonna
I want
be.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
Does he like my hair up, my hair down?
Where he party at. I really didn't see. It's sometimes I we read these things, I be like, oh, when people be like, that's crazy. I said I read so many romance novels. I was like, oh,
That's
that's cute.
cute.
I mean, just to kind of put this in romantic movie context. If you've ever read 50 Shades of Grey and then read the series Grey, which is it's his version of
yes.
her of what happened, because it's 50 Shades of Grey is in the woman's voice. Grey is in Christian Grey's voice.
Yes.
Anyway, everything that we thought was an accident when you read Grey's book wasn't. He knew where she worked, the rope and everything that he got from her was intentional. Nothing. He knew where she was when she got drunk that night. Nothing that we thought was happenstance was happenstance. It was pure, connived, thought out plan to get her.
Oh, okay. So somebody wants to know what happened to Dallas. Dallas didn't have the ratings, and so they canceled them.
They're on what is it? Miami.
Miami, which I don't watch, but D says we should. And Giselle loves it. So, but I just don't feel like picking nothing else up. But that's on y'all though.
I would have to start from the beginning. I can't, like, y'all be starting in the middle. I mean, like, what happened before? I need to understand the story.
Miami is very good. I feel like Miami gives you a good dose of girl and sisterhood with drama, and it doesn't go go too far. Yeah.
But Miami's different now because the first seasons had totally different people. I mean, Larsa and Marsal and they the only three original. Is it more?
No, the only Larsa, Marisol, Alexia, and Adriana was on
Is
the
Adriana still on there?
Yes, she's just a
I don't
friend
ever hear anybody
of
say her name. Okay.
She the one that keeps most of the damn drama going. I'm surprised that she doesn't that she isn't full time.
Oh, so she's not full time.
Yeah, she's friend of, but she be in majority of the scenes, so you would think that she their
she
friend
just don't
of
need a segment. She just don't need segments. That's fine. Yeah. Some people are okay with that.
Be in almost every scene.
Okay,
it's 6:25. We've been on here.
No, we've been on an hour and 20. Let's see. Now we're to wrap this up. I'm trying to keep us hour 30 or.
But yeah, this was a really good Jersey episode. Keep on watching, y'all, because Jersey, in my opinion, they don't have a weak episode.
But D, why wasn't you here at the beginning? Because you know
I had something going on. I'm sorry. I meant to text you guys. That was completely my fault.
Because this is you and Joy's show. Me and Callie had to work today, and we was not prepared.
Oh my God.
Because I like Jersey. Sorry. I could go on and on about Jersey.
Me too.
It's a different kind of conversation because, like I said, you don't have the pressure of no black woman think like that. You know, there's a whole racial element. And Jersey's, they kind of close to us some kind of way in my head.
They are.
Yeah. And they're all new money. This is all new money. New money act different than old money.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
And they give authentic drama too.
Yes. I don't feel like they fake scenes.
I don't.
Yeah, me neither.
Not even Joe and Melissa.
Yeah.
Now, that was fake.
That's why the girl broke out in. That's why she broke out in hives, honey, knowing she was having to lie on camera like that.
Yeah. So
Gabriella.
Yeah, Melissa and her 5 fake noses.
You leave Melissa
alone.
Y'all
know it's a Twitter handle that's Melissa's own.
Melissa's own. It's one that's Giselle's Gankles or whatever they call.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's somebody that one of my friends actually. He got his Twitter handle.
I think they got
talking about sudden legs.
Sudden legs. Yeah.
Nobody got a Wendy's old body.
We need that one.
We need that one on Twitter.
Since we went here at the beginning, before we leave, is there anything that stood out to you that you want to talk about, or did we cover everything?
I'll just say this to give a little recap of the episode since I wasn't here at the beginning. I quite frankly am sick of this Gorgo versus Judice feud. It's tired, it's
Yeah.
old. At this point, I'm like Dolores when she was on Watch Us Happen Live. At this point, it just needs to end. They just need to go
Mm-hmm.
to take away. It's not nothing wrong with it. I don't talk to my oldest brother. I ain't talked to him since I was in like high school. That was like what 5 years ago. It ain't bothered me not damn bit. You just go on with your life. If I see him, hey, how you doing? I hope everything's doing fine, and we keep it at that. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't just close knit and all that other shit. Like,
Well,
and it's
D, we want
cool.
y'all to make up. I don't like that. We'll talk about that offline though.
But I'm saying though,
I'm just gonna
sometimes you have to go your separate ways with family members, and that's just what they need to do. It's been a decade
I
at this
do
point.
think Teresa loves Joe though,
I,
I
I
do
but
too.
I will admit this about Teresa. I think Teresa would be okay not ever seeing Melissa again and only
I
having a
think so
Yes,
relationship
too.
with her brother.
yes,
I will admit that.
absolutely.
But
I
she
think that
loves her
Melissa is
brother.
the problem. Melissa is the problem.
Yeah. I,
All right,
that's kind
y'all.
of selfish though. It's selfish, but I will say this: I don't think it would be this bad if Melissa wasn't on the show.
I
Mm.
agree. I
All right, so y'all,
definitely
this is our
agree.
QR code. Get this. I still haven't added anything to the podcast. I'm gonna do it though tomorrow. I hope. Because D wants he to be on the podcast, and you ain't on there yet, but you will be. Um, that's our QR code. You can get everything chatter up. Thank you all for joining us. We really did appreciate it. I enjoyed this episode, even though Jersey bored the mess out of me. So it's all good. Y'all ready to peace it out?
Hey.
Thank
Well, I'm
you.
ready for. I'm ready for. I'm ready for episode
It went
two.
out, D. It went out, D.